It is time now for the new Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. I love Super Sound Showcase simply because it is a chance for me to highlight the best musicians in the area. And we've started booking people not only from this area, but some regional and national acts. It's really stepping up the game. But we are first class all the way today because one of my favorite musicians is here. A young gentleman named Tom Euler. Tom, welcome back to WMBG.
Well, thank you for having me.
We are now the Berg Radio as well. We have rebranded with more power and more reach than we've had. So this time, for your recurring appearance, we're going to really send the signal out and see how many people do not know about your music yet, but need to be fans.
Let's not count that list. That's a pretty long list, probably.
No, I don't know. You know, you've made quite an impression in the area, and people are starting to talk more and more about that young man and all his gifts and abilities, and you're so good at looping and writing and singing, and you do all kinds of great things.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
What do you think is the reaction you get from your fans? What do they love most about Tom Euler music?
Probably, the guys like the guitar work and the girls like the singing. So that tends to be how that splits there. So,
yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. And what do you like most about your work?
The passion and the outlet. Okay. I love being passionate with my music, and it's such a good outlet for me emotionally. So,
how long have you been performing out, Tom?
I've been performing out since I left high school. Well, actually before that, so about 8 years, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you, about 19 now?
Yeah, no, 23.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's exciting for me sometimes to see the young artists in the area because they are given such opportunities now if they really are dedicated, and you've made the most of what's available to you.
Yeah.
You have a concert coming up on Sunday.
I do.
And probably something else before that, but I'm aware of the one on Sunday.
Right.
So let's talk about where you're going to be appearing this weekend.
Sure. So that's going to be in Gloucester at the George Nelson Memorial Concert Series at the Bethany United Methodist Church.
And bringing in the whole band.
That's right, the whole band.
I like that idea.
The bass, the drums, and the piano. So it's going to be an awesome time. We're really excited to play.
No doubt. I've never seen you with a whole band.
I know.
That's going to be really fun. What kind of things can we expect?
A lot of awesome guitar and a lot of fun. Is it mostly original or covers?
It's a mix. What are you going to do?
So since it's a 2-hour show, we can do pretty much like a half and half.
Okay.
We'll play a lot of the stuff that's on the new album that we've been working on, and we'll also be playing a lot of covers that we love to play, the ones that are just like super fun or super passionate or whatever, you know.
And let's talk about this new album. What's in the works?
Oh man,
You're actually recording already, right?
Yeah. We've recorded just about all of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back and touch a couple of things up, but it's gonna be a 10-track album, my first full-length blues rock album, and we're super stoked for it.
Well, I can't wait. And you know, you do have a unique ability to sell music because people watch you enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
And when you get out there, it's like the world has stopped and you have out-of-body experiences.
Oh, I
because
do.
the enjoyment on your face is, I think, a big part of why the audience is so responsive to you.
Well, I could believe it. I know that when I was sitting in audiences watching my favorite musicians play, whenever I saw them get into that kind of out-of-body experience, I was always like lost in the music. I was just like, whoa, I want to do that. Like that's what's cool. You know.
And what do you find has been the most rewarding part of being a musician at this point for you?
I love the idea that you go out and you play a show on a Friday night, and maybe somebody's had just the worst week, and then they come and they listen to you, and you cheer them up. Like I had a friend of mine, Billy Moore. He came up to me at one of my shows and was like, "Man, I've had the worst week, but you and your music, and I just love what you do, and it just turns my mood right around, and I've become super happy." You know, it's like the Billy Joel song, Piano Man.
Sure.
He knows that it's me they've been coming to see to forget about life for a while, right? So that's that kind of idea, is that you're their distraction.
Some funny trivia. Many years ago, before you were born, I actually ran into Billy Joel at a party in New York.
Yeah.
And I walked up to him and I said, you know, I've been a professional pianist since I was 8 years old. And I said, I just want to thank you on behalf of all of us for that song Piano Man, because every time somebody gets drunk, that's what they ask me for.
That's right.
And he laughed, and I loved that he had a sense of humor, but he was very frank with me. He goes, I'll be honest with you. He goes, if I had realized I was going to sing that every night for the rest of my life, I might not have written it. I was like, all right, I like that. So that was our little meeting. But anyway, tell me your influences. Do you have people that you listen to and you feel like it touches your musical soul?
Oh, just about everybody that I listen to, I would say. It's hard to narrow it down.
Right.
But growing up, for sure, like my biggest influence was probably Stevie Ray Vaughan on the guitar playing side of things.
That's a good hero to have.
I know it. And on the vocal side of things, I really loved Robert Plant and Chris Cornell, and just there's so many of them. It's so hard to pick,
right?
Because I'll leave here and I won't be listening what I listen to on the way up here. Mm-hmm. Or, the next time that I go somewhere else, I'll be listening to somebody else in the car. I'll be singing along with that. Or when I'm playing guitar to another song, it's another artist.
So as you're recording the new songs, I assume you're one of those artists you want to hear it right after you did it. Do you sit and listen to the playback?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have there been any moments for you that you can recall that you were listening to a playback and heard one of those riffs that sounds like this one or that one? Do you hear any of that in your playing, or is it all just individual?
I do. I hear less in the playing and more in the song structure or the songwriting.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, one of the songs that I'm actually going to do today is called Bridge You Ain't Burnt. Mm-hmm. And I hear a lot of Allman Brother influence in that.
Nice.
And my dad loved the Allman Brothers. I mean, we listened to the Allman Brothers every night forever when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. And, it's really cool to listen back to it and be like, wow, that riff right there, that reminds me of them.
Right.
And
well, now that I know you have that fanship for the Allman Brothers, I'll have to send you one of the first things that I did when I got this radio show almost a year and a half ago. Right after Greg Allman died, I hosted an hour special that was like a retrospective that I put together. Nice. And I'll have to send you that. You might enjoy listening to it.
Yes, please do.
It was kind of fun. And I had his manager and his old roommate, Jackson Brown, actually involved. It was kind of fun. Cool. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so the new album, have a date? Have any idea
no official date.
Okay.
Like I said, I got to go back in. I got to tweak a few things, and then we do final mixes and mastering.
Well, I'm going to put this out in public on the air then so that we can lock this down. Because when I was talking to Tom about coming in here today, he said he was just a couple of months away from doing the new album and that we could have the official release of the album on Super Sound Showcase. I think that's a great idea.
I think it is too.
Can we do that?
Yes, sir. All
right. So we will have a world exclusive. When this album is done, we will be the first people to hear it. And I think that's quite an honor, and I appreciate that.
Oh, it's my
Indeed.
pleasure.
And I want to say while we're talking, before we get into the music, I want to say hi to Jennifer. Your mom has become my friend on Facebook, and she's delightful, and she's fun, and she's responsive. And I'm sorry she's not here, because Jennifer, I know you're listening. I think your son is extremely talented, and I'm happy that he's on this show. So
she's the best.
Yeah. All right. So what's our first song? What do you got?
First song is going to be a song off of my EP, which is the only body of work I have out right now.
The one that's out right now.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And it's called Rock and Roll These Days.
All right. Oh, I like this song. Let's have it.
Let's do it. Well, I was down on Beale Street in the IBCs when I walked in the Hard Rock to get something to eat. But when I sat down and saw the TV screens, I said that ain't rock and rollin'. Check please. Now is that what passes? Is that what passes? Is that what passes? It's rock and roll these days. Now I'm an open-minded person. Well, I can listen to folk jazz and funk, but I call something like I say something, and that ain't no hard rock punk. Now is that what passes? Is that what passes? Is that what passes? It's rock and roll these days. Like this when you got BB King's, Wet Willies and Flares, Club 152, Rum Boogie Cafe. These are the joints where the real stuff's played. Yeah, that's what passes is music to me. That's what passes
Wow, man. I like that. I wish you could feel it a little more.
Oh, sorry.
No, you are just taken over by that music, and I love that.
Yeah.
And some fancy, fancy finger picking there. That's
right.
very nice. Tell me about that's one of your original songs, right?
It is, yes.
You wrote that. So when you hear, do you set out saying, okay, I'll write it over a 12-bar blues, or do you sit down with a format, or does everything just come from the very beginning of inspiration?
It depends. So with that song, the lyrics came to me in a 12-bar kind of way,
Right.
while I was singing it in the shower. We had just gotten back from Memphis, and I had this whole experience to write about, and I was like, oh, it's all coming
Sure.
to me, you know. So I sped up and I got out of the shower, I wrote it all down, and it came to me that way. But then, like, you know, other songs, I'll have music that I think is really, really cool, and I want to put lyrics to that, so I'll have that to work with.
That question comes from the fact that to be 23, it's such a mature song, and the format of old traditional blues is kind of a lost art on people your age. I mean, you're so adept at it that it really is rather old soul.
Well, I mean, I grew up listening to it. You know, I think a
Nice.
lot of it just comes from your roots. And if your roots are older music, then
Right.
you will in turn write older music. You know.
Yeah. Where did you hear this older music? Was your mom and dad were playing
my
it?
My dad
or
especially. You know, Allman Brothers and B.B. King, Eric
Okay.
Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Sure.
all the greats out there. You know, and you know, of course, my mom showed me a lot of stuff too.
What kind of comments do your parents make about your performing and your music?
They love it a lot, but I feel like a lot of it is just they're just blowing smoke. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what's funny? My parents actually, for years, their favorite trick was to be in an audience and not let anybody know who they were until somebody would say, "Oh, that boy is very talented." Say, "Oh, I think so too. That's my son." You know, they would spring it on people and just watch. Oh, you know, they used to like pull that trick on everybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so next song, what do we have? This is from the new album.
This is from the new
Forthcoming. We'll get a little preview today. What is it? Tell me
album.
about
This one is called Forgive Me. It's
Okay.
got more of like a Ray Charles gospel kind of vibe.
it. Okay.
So, also this comes down to the passionate side of everything, right? So
Right.
this is
Oh,
another one of
perfect
those.
song.
Yep.
All right. Let's hear it, young man.
Let's do it.
I like it.
Forgive me, for I have sinned so many times I don't know where to begin, and I want to see heaven when I pass away. Forgive me, yeah, for what I've done. Well, I never meant to hurt anyone, and I wanna see heaven when I pass away. But I play these songs to get close to there. When I hear those notes, glory fills the air, and I try to see it, but it's always out of sight. Must not be meant for my eyes. But I play these songs to get close to there. When I hear those notes, glory fills the air, and I try to see it, but it's always out of sight. It must not be meant for my eyes. Forgive me, please. Won't you have mercy on me? 'Cause I wanna see heaven when I pass away. 'Cause I wanna see heaven when I pass away.
Oh, I don't even know what to say to you. That song is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And I don't even think I had an understanding of how versatile your range is.
Oh,
Man, you're up in the sky up there.
yeah. We
Those are some
cover
serious
some
notes.
Zeppelin tunes too. So like, you know.
Oh my gosh. And I love that tune. It's so well crafted and it's so, the flavor of gospel, but put into a rock format in a way that it's just very compelling music. I could listen to that all day. Get that record done, quick.
I'm trying. It's coming.
I want it now.
We had Dollywood,
Yeah.
where the band went
That's
to
right.
Dollywood.
Let's talk about you got an award.
Right. We went to the Josie Music Awards in Dollywood. They were held in Dollywood this year.
Mhm.
The year before they were in Nashville. And we went there, and I actually ended up winning Blues Artist of the Year.
No wonder. No
It
wonder.
was super cool. I didn't expect to win anything. We got a chance to play. That's why I really wanted to go. Was they were like, we want you to play at the awards.
How did you
ceremony.
come to their attention? Do you know?
You enter into
Okay.
their awards, and then they have
Okay.
industry professionals select nominees,
Right.
and then eventually winners. And you have to be nominated to be selected to perform.
Sure.
So that's kind
What
of.
what did you sing?
Oh, we did a song called "Bridge You Ain't Burnt," which
Okay. Oh,
is what
okay.
I'm gonna play next. That'll be the last
Okay.
one, I guess. But yeah, so it's coming. The album is coming. You know, I got the Josie Music Awards that happened, and then
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Florence came and absolutely leveled everything in Virginia. No, not really, but Hurricane Florence, kind of put a delay on things in
Uh-huh.
Virginia Beach, because that's where
Okay.
the studio is that we're recording at.
Oh, I
at
see.
Soul Haven.
Okay.
So, it's just been one delay after another, and now I'm home. The storm is gone. I can focus on it again.
Amen.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited about it. All right, so Bridge You Ain't Burnt.
Burnt,
Is that
yep.
that's the title of the next song. And this is what you performed at the Josie Music Awards at Dollywood. So for those of us who were not lucky enough to be there, we get a little taste of it now. This'll be what brought that award home to you.
Maybe you talk too much, can't keep your mouth shut. You think you learn. Yeah, maybe you talk too much, can't keep your mouth shut. You think you learn. But now you can't find a bridge ain't burnt. Maybe you're hungry as hell, greedy as well, can't wait to turn. Yeah, maybe you're hungry as hell, greedy as well, can't wait to turn. But now you can't find a bridge ain't burned. It's no big surprise when a bridge ain't burned. loser, but you're none of my concern. Yeah, maybe you're a loser, user, abuser, but you're none of my concern. And now you can't find a bridge ain't burned. It's no big surprise, and a bridge ain't burned. Someday you'll realize, and a bridge ain't burned.
Surprise ending.
Yep.
I like that. I'm interested to consider for a moment that of all the songs that I know you for, that's probably the least blues oriented, and yet you came home with the blues award.
It's funky, right?
Yeah, it's much more funk than blues, I would think.
Yeah.
But the other ones are, the first one you played so hardcore blues,
Right.
and yet I thought that's funny that you were there to get a blues award, and I don't hear that as a blues tune.
Yeah, it's
fun.
got the blues progression,
Okay.
but it's got the funk style in it.
Yeah, it's
and the
very
riff
nice.
bass and everything. So
Yeah, it's so if Bruno Mars was truly blues, he might sound like that.
that I guess so.
That's awesome, dude. I have such excitement about the discovery that I make every time I see you perform, because you are different each time, and each time you push further. And a long time ago, I got some advice from someone who was a well-known singer in the country industry, and she told me, she said, if you just do one thing every day to try to advance your career, she says, whether it's as small as listening to the radio and saying, I'm going to learn that song, or as big as doing a solo concert at Carnegie Hall, she says, anything in the middle, if you do it every day, she says, at the end of the year, she says, I can promise you'll be at least 363 things ahead of all the other people that say they want to do what you're trying to do. And I see that about you. You are diligent, and you are working hard, and you're pushing forward. And that's what always makes success for people in this business. So I think you're poised to really do some great things.
Well, thank you.
And I'm excited to be part of it.
I'm so happy to
I
have
love
you be a part of it.
having you on the team for the radio station, because, it's an important mission to pay it forward in this business.
It is.
And anything that we can do to help you is a satisfying experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you are just joining us, we are talking to Tom Euler, and he is a wonderful musician from the area. But Tom, what if I said to you, okay, we can put things on the fast track and we can put your career together right now? What's the next project you'd like to do? What are your dreams?
As of right now, I would love to start opening for a national act.
Okay.
If I could do small, even just for the East Coast, touring for them and with them and opening up for them, that would be a dream come true, because that's a new level.
Okay.
Right? That's
yeah,
leaving
of course.
the
That's where you
area.
start to really learn.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of my goal right now, is to try to find a way to do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And do you find that I would imagine, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I would imagine that the people who discover you, that come in and they hear you for the first time, I would imagine very few, if any of them, leave not really considering themselves a fan of your work.
We do pick up a lot of fans at restaurants, that's for sure.
Awesome.
They a lot of times will come up and say, we just came out for dinner, but we stuck around for the whole show.
I had a feeling that was what you were going to say, because, you are compelling and you are so honest about what you do. So please go and find Tom Euler. And I would love for you to support the concert that he's doing. Now, that concert series on Sunday in Gloucester, is that a benefit, or is it for the church? What is that concert series that you mentioned?
It's just a concert series that they like to put on for the public.
Okay, so the church is just a venue.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I think that's a marvelous time to really get the feel, because it's a 2-hour show, and it'll have the whole band. And what time does it start, 4 o'clock?
4 to 6, yeah.
Okay, 4 to 6. And it is free, and you don't have to have a ticket. Tell us the name of the church one more time. And it's in Gloucester, right?
It is in Gloucester, yes. It is the Bethany United Methodist Church. It's at 1860 Hayes Road. in
Okay.
Gloucester Point.
All right, so that's not a bad drive. Just go on over that Coleman Bridge and go on down there. And you know what? I will try to see you at that concert because, my goodness, I really love your music. And I couldn't be more excited about seeing you really get into a band show. I thank you for being here. It was a wonderful thrill to have you in the studio. And please support Tom Euler, and my thanks to Culture Fix, to Steve and to Jen and to Shirley. I always appreciate your sponsorship, and to you, the listeners. We couldn't do this show and wouldn't have any need to do it if you weren't avid about supporting local music and if you didn't tune in every week to support us. So it is my pleasure, and musician to musician, there's no greater honor than for me to be able to call up all the people that I think are truly talented and ask them to come in this studio and play just for me. It's the greatest thrill in the whole world. So thank you, everybody, and we'll be back next week.